Tonight, allow yourself to drift gently as we begin a quiet journey across the story of our home, the Earth. Picture yourself floating high above the planet, suspended in calm twilight. Below you, the world looks peaceful, as if it has settled into a deep, ancient rest. From up here, Earth feels like an old friend, one that has been alive far longer than any of us can imagine. Earth's story began over 4.5 billion years ago, when it first formed as a glowing ball of molten rock. Over time, it cooled, hardened, and breathed itself into the world you see now. Even from above, you can almost feel that ancient warmth still echoing inside the planet. As you drift lower, you notice something subtle. The surface below isn't still. It moves, very slowly, in a rhythm millions of years long. That's because Earth's crust is divided into enormous slabs called plates, and they are always moving. These plate tectonics shape continents, raise mountains, and carve oceans. They move quietly, like the slowest heartbeat in nature. And as the Earth shifts, it also spins, smoothly, endlessly. At the equator, the planet rotates at over 1,600 kilometers per hour, yet the motion is so gentle that you never feel it. This turning brings day and night, a steady rhythm that guides every living thing. In the calm air around you, the sky glows blue. Earth's atmosphere is made mostly of 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen, with just enough of everything else to keep life possible. This thin layer wraps around the planet like a protective blanket, keeping temperatures safe and skies breathable. Below you, the oceans stretch into a vast blue stillness. More than 70% of Earth's surface is covered in water, turning the planet into a world of shimmering blue calm. On the surface it looks serene, quiet, but beneath those waves lies nearly all of Earth's living space. Over 90% of all life's habitat exists in the ocean's depths, a world of drifting, glowing, slow-moving creatures. You drift toward the land now, where forests spread like deep green oceans of their own. Earth holds over 3 trillion trees, each breathing in carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. The forests exhale life into the atmosphere, balancing the world in a peaceful exchange that never stops. Above the trees, soft white clouds drift in slow motion. They look light and dreamy, yet an average cloud weighs nearly 500,000 kilograms, 500,000 kilos of tiny droplets floating effortlessly through the sky. They move like wandering thoughts, drifting from place to place, carrying water across the planet. And as you watch the world turn beneath you, one final truth settles in like a gentle whisper: Earth is the only known planet where water naturally exists in solid, liquid, and gas all at once. Ice in the mountains, water in the rivers and seas, vapor in the air. This perfect balance makes life possible. As the first chapter of this quiet journey ends, let yourself sink deeper into calm. You've drifted through billions of years, watched continents move, oceans breathe, forests sigh, and clouds float with impossible grace. There's so much more to explore, but for now, simply rest on the gentle truth that our planet is a place of endless wonder and soothing beauty. As you continue drifting above the quiet Earth, you notice how the colors below shift gently, deep blues fading into greens, greens blending into warm browns and golds. The world feels alive, but in the softest possible way, like a breath you can almost hear. Far beneath you, the oceans move with slow, steady waves. These waves follow the pull of something powerful and constant, the moon. The moon's gravity is what creates Earth's tides, causing the water to rise and fall in a smooth, predictable rhythm. Without this gentle pull, the coastlines would feel strangely still. The moon itself is special for another reason. It's unusually large compared to our planet, almost a companion world. Its size helps keep Earth steady, preventing our axis from wobbling too wildly. This stability is what keeps our seasons mild and life-friendly. As Earth turns beneath you, you notice these seasons unfolding across the globe. They happen because Earth is tilted at about 23.5 degrees, a small angle that creates a big difference. This tilt allows sunlight to shift gently from one hemisphere to the other, giving us the slow rotation of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. You glide over a stretch of dark blue ocean. Deep below the surface is a place few ever see, a cold, silent world. The deepest known point in the ocean, the Mariana Trench, reaches nearly 11 kilometers down. If you placed Mount Everest inside it, the peak would still be underwater. Down there, sunlight never touches anything, and the pressure is immense, yet life still exists, adapting quietly in the dark. You move closer to land again. The air shifts slightly, and you see forests stretching to the horizon. All around the planet, forests play a quiet but powerful role. They absorb nearly 30% of the carbon dioxide humans produce, helping keep the atmosphere balanced and breathable. Every tree stands like a silent guardian, taking in what we release, giving back what we need. As you drift across the night side of Earth, you notice tiny specks of light flickering across the planet's surface. These are cities, but between them lies a much older kind of glow. Lightning flashes inside clouds like soft pulses of energy. Every second, somewhere on Earth, about 100 lightning bolts strike the ground. They may seem violent, but they help keep the atmosphere electrically balanced and create compounds that nourish the soil. You float gently toward a glowing horizon, where night slowly meets morning. The colors blend from deep violet to soft orange. Sunrises on Earth are painted by the air itself. As sunlight passes through the atmosphere, shorter blue wavelengths scatter, leaving behind the warm reds and golds. This scattering is the same reason the sky is blue during the day. Below you, life begins to stir. Birds, forests, oceans, all responding to the return of light. And in the quiet moment between darkness and day, one more truth settles into view. Earth's internal core is still hot, so hot that it keeps creating heat, pressure, and magnetic fields. This molten iron and nickel deep below you generates a protective magnetic shield around the planet, deflecting harmful solar radiation and allowing life to flourish. Everything works together, the moon stabilizing Earth, the tilt giving seasons, the oceans responding to gravity, the forests breathing in harmony, the magnetic field protecting us. A carefully balanced system, unfolding gently as you watch from above. In this peaceful moment, the story of Earth continues, steady, calm, and endlessly soothing. You continue drifting across the curve of the Earth, and daylight spreads beneath you like a warm whisper. As the sun rises higher, the world reveals countless quiet wonders, things happening every second, whether we notice them or not. Below you, the atmosphere glows faintly. This glow comes from a delicate layer far above, the ozone layer. It absorbs most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, protecting life on the surface. Without this thin shield, the sunlight touching the ground would be far too intense for living beings. As you float higher, you notice something else. Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It's slightly wider at the equator and a bit flatter at the poles. This shape, called an oblate spheroid, is caused by Earth's rotation. The spinning motion pushes outward at the equator, giving the planet its gentle, natural bulge. You slowly drift downward again, toward a continent surrounded by shimmering blue water. The coastline bends in smooth curves, shaped over millions of years by wind, waves, and slow-moving currents. These currents form a vast global system that moves warm and cold water around the planet. This system, sometimes called Earth's ocean conveyor belt, helps regulate the climate, keeping temperatures stable and supporting life across the world. As you move inland, you pass over mountain ranges rising from the surface like ancient guardians. The tallest of them all, Mount Everest, reaches nearly 8,849 meters into the sky. Even here, you can sense how the mountains change wind, shape clouds, and create unique climates on either side. Between mountain ranges, vast plains stretch outward like golden carpets. Some of these plains once held enormous ice sheets. During the last ice age, about 1/3 of Earth was covered in ice. These massive sheets carved valleys, shaped rivers, and left behind landscapes that still carry their quiet signatures today. As you glide farther, the colors shift again. You move over deserts, wide open spaces where sand meets sky. Even here, life survives with remarkable resilience. The Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert in the world, spans over 9 million square kilometers, yet it hosts plants and creatures perfectly adapted to its harsh stillness. The air cools slightly as you drift toward the poles. Huge white shapes come into view, glaciers, frozen oceans, drifting sheets of ice. At the heart of the Antarctic ice sheet lies ice more than 4 kilometers thick, storing ancient air from hundreds of thousands of years ago. These icy layers keep silent records of Earth's past climates, each layer a chapter frozen in time. Below the ice lies something surprising, land that is slowly rising. The Earth's crust actually responds to weight. When glaciers melt, the land beneath them lifts upward, sometimes by centimeters each year. This gentle adjustment is Earth's way of balancing itself. And as you take in all of this, the deserts, oceans, mountains, ice, and air, you feel a subtle hum around the planet. It's Earth's magnetic field, stretching outward into space. This invisible shield doesn't just protect us from solar particles, it also creates the beautiful auroras near the poles, soft, dancing lights that shimmer like curtains in the night sky. In this quiet moment, everything feels connected, the oceans shaping the climate, the mountains guiding winds, the deserts adapting with silence, the ice preserving memory, the magnetic field painting the sky with color. The world turning below you is full of calm, ancient balance, a perfect place to rest, breathe, and drift deeper into peace. As you drift along the soft curve of the Earth, you notice how the colors slowly shift again beneath you. The planet is always changing, but it does so gently, in cycles that take days, years, or even centuries. Everything moves with patience. Below you, fields and forests stretch across the land in a patchwork of greens and browns. Each shade of green comes from tiny molecules inside leaves. These molecules absorb sunlight and turn it into energy, creating almost all the food on Earth. Through this quiet process, called photosynthesis, plants release the oxygen we breathe. In fact, more than half of Earth's oxygen comes from tiny plant-like organisms in the ocean, drifting unseen beneath the waves. You glide toward the coastline, where the ocean meets the land with a rhythm that never stops. The waves calm your thoughts, moving in and out like slow breathing. Most of this water is salty, so salty that if you evaporated all the oceans, you'd be left with enough salt to cover the entire planet with a layer nearly 150 meters thick. Yet all of it began from minerals washed off ancient rocks. Farther inland, rivers wind across continents like soft silver threads. They carve paths through stone, carry nutrients to the sea, and provide life to countless creatures. The longest of them, the Nile, stretches over 6,600 kilometers, flowing steadily through deserts and plains, shaping cultures and ecosystems for thousands of years. You drift higher, and from this height you can see the thin line of clouds tracing across the planet. These clouds carry fresh water vapor that once evaporated from the oceans and lakes. Each day, the sun causes enough water to evaporate that it could fill trillions of bathtubs, rising into the atmosphere and forming new clouds. The water cycle never stops, it simply changes shape over and over, always returning to the ground in gentle rain or falling snow. As you float onward, you cross wide grasslands where the wind moves like a whisper. Grasslands cover more than 40% of Earth's land, creating huge open ecosystems where animals travel long distances, following the seasons. These windswept plains help store carbon in their deep roots, quietly stabilizing the atmosphere. You continue drifting to regions where volcanoes rise from the earth like openings to another world. When volcanoes erupt, they release gases and minerals that have been trapped deep below the surface. Over millions of years, volcanic activity helped create Earth's early atmosphere and ocean waters. Even today, Earth has around 1,350 active volcanoes, each one shaped by the slow movement of the crust below. Near one of these volcanoes, the ground warms beneath your feet. Heat rises from deep underground, coming from radioactive elements and the leftover warmth from Earth's formation. Under the crust, temperatures climb thousands of degrees. This internal heat helps drive the movement of the planet's plates, fuels volcanoes, and even shapes the landscape in ways we don't always see. As night begins to fall again, the sky darkens and reveals something breathtaking, stars scattered across the darkness. From Earth's surface, we can see about 5,000 stars with the naked eye, but only half of them at a time, depending on where we stand. Yet this number is just a tiny fraction of what fills the universe. The night sky is a gentle reminder of how small and precious our world is, quietly glowing in a vast, silent sea of stars. And there, as you hover between night and day, the world beneath you feels soft, calm, beautifully alive. Every river, every cloud, every blade of grass works together in a harmony that has existed for ages. Earth's systems breathe in cycles, slow and soothing, inviting you to drift deeper into peace with every moment. As you drift into the next stretch of your journey, the earth below takes on new shapes and textures. The planet never repeats itself, every moment reveals something different. You glide slowly over sparkling lakes, winding rivers, and mountains softened by distance. Everything feels connected, moving at the gentle rhythm of nature itself. Below you is a wide region of shimmering wetlands, places where land and water blend into each other so smoothly that it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. These wetlands may look still, but they are alive with quiet purpose. They filter water naturally, removing pollutants and holding carbon in their soils. Wetlands store so much carbon that, acre for acre, they can hold up to 5 times more than forest, helping keep the atmosphere balanced. As you move on, you notice patterns in the clouds, some towering high, others stretched thin across the sky. These shapes aren't random. Clouds form when air rises, cools, and condenses into droplets. The tallest of them, called cumulonimbus clouds, can climb up to 20 kilometers into the atmosphere. Their tops can even freeze, turning into bright white anvils that glow in the sunlight. The air around you begins to shift, becoming dry and warm. You're drifting above a desert again, but this time it's a different one, a cold desert. Few people realize that Antarctica, covered in ice, is also the world's largest desert because it receives so little moisture. Most places here get less than 50 millimeters of precipitation a year, making it drier than many hot deserts. You drift a little farther, and the wind carries you toward a coastline sculpted by time. On these shores live tiny organisms called phytoplankton, simple, microscopic beings that drift with the currents. Despite their size, they produce over half of Earth's oxygen, turning sunlight into the air we breathe. Every breath you take carries the quiet work of these tiny ocean drifters. Farther out in the ocean, islands rise from the water like stepping stones. Many of these islands were created by volcanoes that erupted underwater. Over millions of years, as lava cooled and solidified, new land slowly emerged from the sea. Some islands still grow today, as magma from deep within Earth continues to push upward. Near one of these islands, coral reefs glow beneath the clear water. These reefs hold an immense amount of life. Even though they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, they support nearly 25% of all marine species. Coral reefs are like underwater forests, full of color, movement, and ancient knowledge. They protect coastlines, shelter fish, and build entire ecosystems from tiny organisms working together. As you drift upward again, leaving the reefs below, the blue fades into a deeper shade. You see storms swirling far off in the distance, spinning slowly. Hurricanes and cyclones form only when ocean water becomes warm enough, usually above 26 degrees Celsius. Warm water feeds their strength, while cooler water weakens them. Even their power follows nature's balance, building and fading with the temperature of the sea. You float higher still, and the curve of the Earth becomes more visible. From this vantage point, you notice a faint blue halo around the planet. This soft glow is the scattering of sunlight in the atmosphere. Without it, the sky would be dark even during the day. But because Earth's air spreads sunlight in all directions, the world below is bathed in blue. Far below, life continues moving in quiet harmony. Forests breathe, oceans drift, deserts sleep, and winds carry whispers of changing seasons. You feel the planet's calm pulse, the steady rhythm that has shaped life for countless ages. In this soft moment, you drift a little slower, a little deeper into stillness, held gently by the peaceful story Earth continues to tell. You drift onward, following the curve of the Earth as day slowly turns to dusk. The planet below begins to glow with gentle colors, deep blues blending into violet, and soft gold slipping across the horizon. Everything feels slower now, quieter, as if the Earth itself is preparing for rest. Below you, the forests darken first. As evening settles in, countless small creatures begin to stir. Many animals are nocturnal, choosing the cool calm of night over the heat of day. These creatures have adapted with extraordinary senses. Some can hear sounds far too soft for humans, while others see clearly in starlight that appears almost black to us. Even in the quietest hours, nature continues to move with purpose. Farther out, open grasslands shimmer with the last traces of daylight. These vast plains support enormous migrations. Each year, millions of animals move across them, guided by instinct and the promise of fresh food. One of the largest migrations in the world happens in Africa, where nearly 2 million wildebeest and zebras travel together across changing landscapes, following the rains. Their movement shapes entire ecosystems. As you drift above a distant coastline, the air becomes cooler. The ocean reflects the fading sky, its waves turning silver beneath the moonlight. Deep in these waters swim some of Earth's oldest living creatures. Ocean quahog clams, for example, can live for more than 500 years, quietly resting on the seafloor while centuries pass around them. Life in the ocean moves at its own patient pace. You glide farther out to sea. The water darkens as it deepens, and the world below becomes a quiet, endless expanse. In these depths, sunlight cannot reach, but life has found other ways to glow. Bioluminescent organisms create gentle flashes of light, painting the darkness with soft blues and greens. Roughly 80% of deep-sea animals produce their own light, using it to communicate, attract mates, or hide from predators. Even in the darkest places, the earth finds ways to shimmer. As you rise upward, you notice long bands of clouds wrapped around the globe. These are jet streams, powerful rivers of wind flowing high in the atmosphere at speeds that can reach over 400 kilometers per hour. They guide storms, influence temperatures, and carry weather patterns across entire continents. Though invisible from the ground, these streams quietly shape daily life. You float beyond them now, where the air thins and grows colder. In this quiet zone above the clouds, Earth's temperature behaves in an unusual way. Instead of falling, parts of the atmosphere warm up again. High above the surface, the ozone layer absorbs sunlight and releases heat, creating pockets where temperatures can rise to over 0 degrees Celsius, even though the surrounding air is icy. The atmosphere, like the Earth itself, is full of quiet surprises. As night deepens, city lights begin to appear like constellations on the ground. From above, they sparkle gently, forming patterns that trace the rhythms of human life. The brightest areas reveal large populations, while dark stretches hint at mountains, oceans, forests, and untouched plains. More than 55% of humanity now lives in cities, and their lights form a soft, shimmering map of our presence on the planet. A little farther away from the glow, the night sky reveals something even more delicate. Tiny streaks of light appear for a moment, then vanish. These are meteors, bits of dust and stone burning up as they enter Earth's atmosphere. Each day, about 100 tons of cosmic dust fall onto the planet, most of it so small and gentle that it reaches the ground unnoticed. The Earth welcomes these quiet visitors from space without ever breaking its calm. And as you drift through the peaceful night above this glowing, breathing world, the planet below feels steady and eternal. From migrating animals to glowing ocean creatures, from ancient winds to falling stardust, Earth continues its slow, serene rhythms, inviting you to breathe a little deeper, drift a little further, and rest in the gentle harmony of everything unfolding below. As you float onward through the night sky, the earth below glows with a quiet softness. The lights of cities fade behind you, and the darkened wilderness stretches out like a deep, comforting blanket. Slowly, the moonlight reveals shapes and patterns across the land, rivers, mountains, valleys, each shaped over millions of years, each part of the planet's long, patient story. Below you lies a region covered in dense forest, so thick that sunlight touches only a fraction of the ground during the day. Some forests are so rich with life that a single hectare can hold more than 700 species of trees. In these places, the air is heavy with moisture and the scent of leaves. The forest breathes in carbon dioxide and breathes out oxygen, joining the endless cycle that keeps the world alive. As you drift onward, you notice a soft silver shine, a river winding through the landscape like a ribbon of moonlit glass. That river carries not just water, but stories carved into the land. Every river, no matter how calm, is slowly shaping the earth. Over thousands of years, rivers have carved valleys so deep they reach more than 1,800 meters below the surrounding plains. These landscapes remind you that even the gentlest forces can reshape the world over time. The scene shifts as you glide over distant mountains touched with snow. In these high places, the air is thin, the wind quiet, and the world peaceful. Snow on mountaintops can stay frozen for centuries. Scientists have found ancient ice containing bubbles of air from hundreds of thousands of years ago, preserving a whisper of Earth's old atmosphere. Inside that ice lies a memory of colder ages and the quiet rise and fall of climates long before humans walked the Earth. Farther along, the land changes again. You see patterns etched into the ground by water long gone, the dried beds of ancient lakes. Some deserts today were once full of deep, freshwater lakes, where fish swam and forests grew. The Sahara, now a vast dry expanse, once held one of the largest lakes in the world. More than 7,000 years ago, it supported crocodiles, hippos, and thriving human communities. The planet is always changing, revealing and erasing stories like shifting sand. As you follow the moonlit horizon, you drift over vast fields of ice near the poles. Even in this frozen world, movement is constant. Glaciers, though they seem still, can slide forward by meters each day. These slow-moving rivers of ice hold nearly 70% of the world's fresh water, quietly storing it in frozen form. When they melt, they help fill rivers, lakes, and seas, a reminder of the deep connection between cold regions and the warm places far away. Above these icy lands, the sky glows with shimmering ribbons of color, green, purple, and blue dancing in graceful curves. These are the auroras, created when charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's magnetic field. The display is strongest near the poles, where the magnetic shield dips closest to the surface. Each burst of light travels at incredible speed, creating a natural sky dance that has fascinated humans for thousands of years. You drift higher now, rising slowly above clouds shaped by the wind. These clouds reflect sunlight during the day, helping cool the earth. At night, they trap warmth near the surface, keeping temperatures more stable. Without clouds, Earth would be far colder, extreme enough that life as we know it would struggle to survive. Their presence creates a delicate balance, a soft shield between space and soil. And as your view widens once more, you notice the Earth's surface glimmer faintly with heat. Even at night, the planet releases warmth absorbed during the day. This gentle glow is part of a continuous exchange. The Earth absorbs energy from the Sun, then slowly releases it back into space. Without this natural cycle, the planet's temperatures could swing wildly. Instead, it maintains a comforting rhythm: warm days, cool nights, and endless balance. As you drift along this quiet planet, through forests breathing, rivers carving, ice remembering, and skies glowing, the Earth's calm presence surrounds you. Everything moves slowly, effortlessly, as if the world itself is whispering a lullaby, guiding you deeper into rest, deeper into stillness, deeper into peace. You drift further into the quiet rhythm of Earth's story, as if the planet itself is whispering through the darkness. And in this soft moment, you return to the beginning of another chapter in its long, gentle tale. Far below the surface, deeper than the roots of the tallest forests, Earth hides a world of flowing stone. Scientists call it the mantle, a slow-moving ocean of rock so hot it moves like thick honey over time. Fact 55. These movements are what guide the tectonic plates above, shaping the continents we live on. And though we can't feel it, those continents are always wandering. Africa is slowly drifting north, inch by inch, like a tired traveler looking for a place to rest. Fact 56. If you could watch millions of years pass in minutes, the continents would look like clouds drifting across a pond. Above all of this, Earth's magnetic field stretches outward like an invisible cocoon. It is generated by molten iron spinning in the planet's core, acting like a giant protective shield. Fact 57. Without it, the solar wind would blow our atmosphere away, and Earth would be bare and lifeless. Yet here it is, quietly guarding us every day, unseen but essential. Even the oceans, which appear so calm from above, carry ancient stories. If you dip far enough beneath the waves, sunlight disappears completely, at around 1,000 meters down, a place known as the Midnight Zone. Fact 58. Down there, creatures glow with their own light, soft blues and greens that shimmer like drifting stars. The ocean itself holds most of Earth's water, more than 96% of it. Fact 59. Everything else, all the rivers and lakes we know, is just a tiny fraction resting on the surface like droplets compared to a vast, deep sea. But water does more than fill the oceans, it shapes the air. Every day, Earth loses small amounts of its atmosphere to space, tiny particles drifting away like fine dust on a breeze. Fact 60. It happens so gradually that Earth has kept a breathable sky for billions of years. You might imagine Earth as completely round, like a perfect sphere. But it isn't. It bulges slightly at the equator because of its rotation, making it what scientists call an oblate spheroid. Fact 61. Just a gentle widening, subtle and quiet. And surrounding all of this, the oceans, the land, the drifting plates, is Earth's atmosphere layered like a sleeping blanket. High above the clouds lies the mesosphere, where meteors burn into glowing streaks as they fall. Fact 62. It protects us, too, in its quiet and invisible way. And then there is the troposphere, the layer closest to the ground. All the air we breathe, all the weather we know, every cloud, every breeze, every storm, it all exists in just this thin slice of sky. Fact 63. When you look up, you're seeing only a tiny piece of the atmosphere that surrounds the world. But in this gentle moment, under this peaceful sky, everything feels still. The planet continues its ancient rhythms, shaping, drifting, glowing, protecting, and you are here, listening, breathing in the story of a world that never sleeps. You drift softly above Earth, and the quiet rhythm of the planet continues beneath you. Everything moves at its own pace, the oceans sway, forests breathe, mountains stand still, and winds whisper through the air. Below you, the plains stretch far and wide. They are home to some of the Earth's most resilient life. Grasses grow quietly, spreading their roots deep into the soil. Fact 64, they hold carbon in the ground, keeping the atmosphere balanced, and provide nourishment for countless grazing animals across the world. The rivers flow between these plains, winding slowly as if remembering the paths carved by millions of years. The Amazon River alone carries so much water that it could fill all the world's rivers combined several times over. Fact 65, its slow current nourishes forests, feeds life, and sustains an ecosystem unlike any other on Earth. And above the rivers and plains, the clouds drift lazily. Some are so thin and high that they are nearly invisible, yet they play an important role in reflecting sunlight back into space. Fact 66, without them, Earth would grow far hotter under the sun's steady gaze. You float toward the mountains, where the snow glistens faintly under the moonlight. In some places, glaciers have persisted for hundreds of thousands of years. Fact 67, their slow movements shape valleys, carve peaks, and leave behind landscapes that tell the story of ice and time. Out over the oceans again, you notice that life moves in quiet harmony beneath the waves. Tiny plankton drift endlessly, forming the foundation of the food chain. Fact 68, despite their size, they produce a significant portion of the oxygen in our atmosphere, working invisibly to sustain life everywhere. The winds above the oceans flow in steady patterns called trade winds. They have shaped human history, guiding sailors and influencing climates across the globe. Fact 69, these invisible currents carry heat from the equator toward the poles, gently moderating temperatures around the planet. As you drift higher, you notice the faint shimmer of the auroras near the poles, glowing like curtains of light in the night sky. These magical displays happen when particles from the sun interact with Earth's magnetic field. Fact 70, the lights dance silently, showing the invisible energy that protects the planet from harmful radiation. Even the soil beneath you hums with quiet life. Microorganisms and fungi work constantly to recycle nutrients, slowly breaking down matter to feed plants and maintain balance in ecosystems. Fact 71, they are small, unseen, but essential, creating a foundation for life that continues without pause. And as you float above mountains, rivers, plains, oceans, and forests, the Earth's gentle pulse feels endless. Its systems are connected, moving in perfect harmony, quietly guiding life and shaping the world. Each moment is part of a story that has lasted billions of years, and even now, it continues in the soft rhythm beneath you. You drift further above the quiet Earth, and the planet seems to exhale beneath you, as if resting while carrying out countless invisible tasks. The oceans shimmer faintly in the moonlight, and the forests below stretch like dark green waves, moving only with the wind. Far below, you notice the glaciers slowly inching across polar lands. Even though they seem still, These icy rivers move several meters each year, shaping valleys and carving out landscapes that have existed for millennia. Fact 72. They hold the memory of Earth's past climates, layer upon layer, like pages in a frozen book. Across the plains, life continues its patient rhythm. Grasslands sway gently under soft night breezes, storing carbon in their deep roots and supporting entire ecosystems. Fact 73. These lands are home to animals that follow seasonal patterns, migrating long distances in perfect harmony with the cycles of the planet. You glide above the rivers now, watching water tracing slow paths toward the sea. Water on Earth constantly moves, not just in rivers, but in clouds, oceans, and even underground aquifers. Fact 74. The water you see has likely flowed over the land for millions of years, visiting mountains, plains, and deserts before returning to the sea. Above the rivers and plains, the wind drifts in invisible streams, shaping weather patterns and guiding clouds. These winds have sculpted sand dunes, carried seeds, and transported moisture across continents. Fact 75. They are quiet architects of the land, shaping Earth in ways that are gentle yet powerful. Farther out, you notice faint flashes far below, lightning dancing across clouds. While it seems sudden and loud from the surface, lightning is part of a natural electrical balance in the atmosphere. Fact 76. Every second, roughly 100 lightning strikes occur somewhere on Earth, creating compounds that enrich the soil and contribute to life's delicate balance. High above, the night sky stretches endlessly, and the stars twinkle softly. From Earth, you can see around 5,000 stars with the naked eye, yet they are only a tiny fraction of the billions in our galaxy. Fact 77. Even the faintest glimmers remind you of the vast universe that surrounds this gentle, living world. Drifting toward the coastlines, you notice tiny organisms glowing in the dark water. Bioluminescence is common in the deep ocean, where sunlight cannot reach. Fact 78. Creatures here create their own light, using it to attract prey, evade predators, or communicate silently in the darkness. And as you rise above the land, oceans, and skies, the earth below feels alive and steady. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, winds, rivers, and clouds move together in perfect harmony, sustaining life in ways both grand and subtle. Every element is part of a quiet, continuous story, a story that invites you to relax, breathe, and drift deeper into calm. You continue drifting above the earth, enveloped in its quiet pulse. The night sky stretches endlessly above, while below, forests, rivers, mountains, and oceans move in gentle rhythms, each part contributing to the balance of life. Beneath you, volcanoes rise from the land, silent giants in the dark. Though they may sleep for centuries, volcanoes shape the earth slowly but powerfully. Fact 79. They release gases and minerals that enrich soil, build islands, and even influence climate patterns over long periods. Along the coastlines, tides rise and fall in a steady, soothing rhythm. The moon's gravity pulls gently on Earth's oceans, creating waves that move water across the globe. Fact 80. These tides have guided the life of countless creatures, shaped shorelines, and influenced human history for millennia. In the forests below, trees reach high into the night sky, their roots winding deep into the soil. Fact 81. Forests cover about 31% of Earth's land, holding carbon, providing oxygen and sheltering innumerable species, all while quietly breathing in harmony with the planet. As you drift over the deserts, the land appears still and empty, yet life persists. Plants and animals adapt in remarkable ways to the extreme heat and dry conditions. Fact 82: deserts are not lifeless, they are places of resilience, teaching patience and endurance through their quiet existence. High above, the atmosphere glows faintly in the darkness, protecting the planet from cosmic hazards. The ozone layer absorbs harmful ultraviolet rays, preventing them from reaching life below. Fact 83: this invisible shield allows Earth to nurture life safely, even under the sun's fierce energy. The oceans, so vast and calm from above, hold the majority of Earth's living space. Fact 84: from tiny plankton to giant whales, life adapts to every depth, temperature, and current, moving in harmony with tides, winds, and seasonal changes. You drift across snowy peaks where glaciers rest silently. Even here, life finds a way. Tiny mosses, insects, and birds survive in niches that seem impossible. Fact 85: these remote ecosystems demonstrate the resilience of life, enduring where the conditions are extreme and the world seems still. In the polar skies, the auroras shimmer gently. These natural lights appear when charged particles from the sun interact with Earth's magnetic field. Fact 86: the colors dance silently above the icy lands, a reminder of the invisible forces that surround and protect the planet. And as you rise higher, looking down at continents, oceans, and skies, the Earth's slow, perfect rhythm surrounds you. Its mountains, rivers, forests, glaciers, winds, and oceans all move in harmony, creating a story that has lasted billions of years. The planet breathes beneath you, steady and eternal, inviting you to relax, drift, and rest in its peaceful embrace. You drift softly above the Earth, the night calm and still beneath you. The planet's surface stretches out in a quiet tapestry of land, water, and sky, each element moving in harmony, each part contributing to life's steady rhythm. Far below, rivers flow endlessly toward the sea, carving valleys and nourishing life along the way. Fact 87: some rivers, like the Mississippi or the Yangtze, stretch for thousands of kilometers, winding across continents and shaping the land with patience and care. The forests below sway gently, even in the softest night breeze. Each tree breathes quietly, exchanging carbon dioxide for oxygen. Fact 88: this process has been happening for hundreds of millions of years, sustaining countless species and keeping the planet balanced. You glide over the deserts, where sand dunes shift slowly, sculpted by the wind. Fact 89: even in their apparent stillness, deserts are alive with slow transformations, carrying minerals and seeds across the landscape, creating life in unexpected places. Farther out, the oceans glitter faintly in moonlight. Tiny organisms drift on currents, producing light in the deep darkness. Fact 90: these bioluminescent creatures illuminate the oceans in soft blues and greens, creating a silent, magical glow that never disturbs the calm above. Above the mountains, snow rests quietly on peaks and ridges. The snow reflects sunlight during the day and stores water for rivers in warmer months. Fact 91: this slow, cyclical process supports life far downstream, connecting the high mountains to oceans, plains, and forests. High in the sky, clouds drift lazily, shaped by wind and temperature. Fact 92. They carry water vapor across the globe, releasing gentle rain or snow that nourishes plants, fills rivers, and sustains ecosystems in every corner of the planet. You notice the night sky beginning to shimmer with faint streaks. Meteors pass through the atmosphere each day, tiny fragments of space dust burning softly as they fall. Fact 93. Each one is a gentle reminder that Earth is part of a larger, moving universe. Even the soil beneath your view is alive. Microorganisms quietly recycle nutrients, breaking down organic matter and preparing the ground for new life. Fact 94. Without them, the forests, grasslands, and crops would struggle to thrive. And as you float higher, taking in the quiet movement of oceans, rivers, forests, mountains, and clouds, the planet seems to breathe as a single, peaceful entity. Its rhythm is slow, eternal, and perfectly balanced, inviting you to sink deeper into rest, carried by the calm story of Earth. You drift gently above the Earth, watching the soft glow of moonlight spill across mountains, forests, and oceans. Everything below moves quietly, in a rhythm that has persisted for billions of years, each part of the planet playing its subtle, essential role. Far below, volcanoes rest like sleeping giants. Even when dormant, they continue to shape the land slowly over time. Fact 95. Lava and ash from past eruptions have enriched soils, built islands, and created mountains that now shelter forests and rivers. Across the oceans, waves move in endless, gentle motions. They are guided not only by the wind but also by the gravitational pull of the moon. Fact 96. These tides rise and fall predictably, shaping coastlines and supporting countless marine species that rely on them for survival. You drift over dense forests, where trees stretch tall toward the sky. Fact 97. Each hectare can host hundreds of different plant species, creating an intricate web of life that absorbs carbon, produces oxygen, and shelters countless animals in quiet harmony. In the polar regions, glaciers shine softly in the moonlight. Even though they appear still, they move slowly, carving valleys and shaping landscapes over thousands of years. Fact 98. They hold ancient air and water, preserving a record of Earth's climate for scientists to read. Above the plains, wind flows steadily, shaping land and weather in invisible ways. Fact 99. These currents help distribute heat across continents, carry moisture for rainfall, and influence ecosystems far below, all without ever being seen. Deep within the oceans, bioluminescent creatures drift silently. Fact 100. They create gentle lights in the darkness, a subtle glow that sustains life, communicates, and reminds us that even the deepest places are full of quiet beauty. High above, the auroras shimmer softly near the poles, painting the sky in greens, purples, and blues. Fact 101. These natural lights are created when charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's magnetic field, revealing the invisible forces that protect and sustain life. And finally, the Earth itself hums with a quiet, eternal rhythm. Mountains, rivers, forests, oceans, ice, wind, and sky all move together in harmony. The planet breathes, shifts, and sustains life in ways both gentle and profound, carrying on a story that has lasted billions of years and continues quietly tonight, beneath your watchful, drifting gaze.